Edison Chan, welcome to SHOW Studio.
Hey.
How would you describe yourself? What would you say that you do?
Creator. I'm a creator. I do music, I do movies, creative direction, clothing design, retail management. A lot of people ask me what I do. I think the best way to kind of put it is that I create things.
Would you call yourself an artist?
Yes, but a lot of people would disagree with me, I think. But I feel that, especially in the region that I work in, in China, it's a very kind of more suppressed culture where a lot of thoughts and stuff are kind of more suppressed.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of let it all out and let it all hang. So I feel like in that kind of context, I definitely am an artist.
Tell me more about that. When you say suppressed, what do you mean?
A lot of the stuff I do is youth orientated, meaning, more street culture, like urban music, creative direction for certain companies that are more targeted toward youth marketing. So in that spectrum, they keep coming back to me because they say that there's no one else that they can really find. They're like, oh, we need to find someone new to work with. And I'm like, good luck with that, because it's really hard to be able to think 100% freely, There's a lot of constraints, there's a lot of worries on people's minds when sensitive issues are brought up, or even non-sensitive issues, meaning new things, new creative ideas. When it's something foreign, people tend to try to be more safe. And I'd say I'm a little bit of the opposite of that.
You seem to have a bit of a love-hate relationship with China.
Yeah, I'd say so. I can't. I think it's neither. I don't hate or love it. I'm kind of in it. I'm in this relationship where it's kind of like my ugly cousin or something, where I love him, but at the same time, he's really annoying. It's hard for me to be enveloped in that kind of I don't know really how to put it in that whole space and area of Chinese culture. I was never wanting to go in and be totally a part of it, but I just kind of fell into it, and now I'm kind of married to it, and at times it's painful, at times it's lovely, and the relationship's still ongoing, so hopefully it ends in a good way.
Do you ever wish that you hadn't become famous?
Yes. Yes and no. I feel that with fame it's come with a lot of pressure. I just like to, especially nowadays, I think when I was younger, I was really into the fact that I was a superstar or people love me and I'm on billboards. And now I'm more just kind of the person that just wants to walk in the park and not be noticed. I guess a lot of things have made me change my thoughts on that, but I feel happy now. I've been through the really happy and then the really unhappy parts of my relationship in that way, but now I'm in a more comfortable and safe place, I feel.
I think an element of, I think this is something you said to Nick Knight when we were talking about doing this interview, is this element of being able to kind of tell your side. Mm-hmm. And I'm interested, do you feel like you've been misrepresented and that you continue to be misrepresented?
I feel definitely that I'm misrepresented. I don't think many people want to really hear what I have to say, I think they want to see the kind of the more explosive, kind of more news-making things, but I have many other things that I feel like I offer to, not just the whole country in general, is like, the future of the country. So I really feel and hope that one day they'll sit down and really listen to what I have to say inside and what I have to offer, because I feel like I'm in an interesting position where I understand, more parts and more cultures and more different thinking ideas and directions that together in union we would have a very fruitful relationship, I feel.
Why do you think people don't want to sort of let that side of you be seen?
A lot of people might agree with what I have to say, but they don't want to agree in public about what I have to say. So people just try to stay off the topic, because, like I said, in China, there's a certain type of cloud hanging over everyone where everyone feels that they have to lay dormant and stick to the safe route. I mean, and this is not just this is in business culture. This is in youth culture. This is in how to raise your child. It's a little very different from how I was brought up and where I'm living right now. So I feel like they feel unsafe to agree with me, and if they speak to me and they hear what I have to say, they feel like it's maybe like a caution sign or a do not enter sign, and it's very interesting because they ask the same questions every single time that I have an interview with these people, but they never really ask the right questions, and it's hard for me to show them who I really am because no one really wants to be the person to showcase that.
What would be the right questions?
Just, I think more so than what's fashionable nowadays, what color next year, who are the best designers, where are you going to chill? Like, they're very surface. I like for some respectable kind of news source to really delve deep into what I have on thoughts on, entertainment culture or even youth culture or youth movements, and the way that I feel China as a nation can be better and better in the future, because I feel everyone's talking about China is the future, China's the future, China's the future, but we need to not only monetarily be that, but we also have to be that in the forefront leader of most industries. You don't become the most important country of the world with just money, and I feel that they need to delve deeper into a lot of cultural ideas and cultural things for us to be really considered a forefront leader of the whole world.
It's interesting that you kind of talk about this sense of conservatism and people not wanting to come out in support of you or listen to what you have to say. And one thing that I found interesting, and when you talk about your difficulties, I guess you're referring in part to 2008 when there was the kind of the sex scandal. And one of the things that you said at that time, you said, I can't say I didn't do anything wrong. I admitted that I was wrong, and I wouldn't say sorry if I wasn't wrong. And I find that interesting in a sense, because to me why do you think you did do anything wrong?
I feel like, the thing deeply is that I didn't know myself exactly what was going on, and I already jumped to many conclusions. I didn't think of the whole, and I only thought of myself. And in that sense, I felt I was wrong because, I hadn't understood that I was a figure in culture that a lot of people were looking to and trying to look for direction. Now, in the same context is that even looking back now, it's like I still struggle to find exactly what it is that makes me the devil, but I understand that from a certain point of view, especially the conservative view, is that a lot of the things that I represent or that I'm associated with are taboo. So, what exactly I did wrong was maybe misjudge the situation, and disrespected the one place that I was living in and making a living from. And
but you didn't cause anything. Do you not think that the things that happened were things that were private, and it's normal to be sexually explorative or do the things that you did? It was just the way they came out.
Like the whole world's having sex behind closed doors. Some more than others, some countries more than others, and I don't feel like I had done anything in particular wrong in that situation. No. The only thing that I said I was kind of wrong was in the context of looking and how I dealt with the situation. It was too foreign to me and too instantaneous. I had lawyers, I had government officials, I had my manager, I had my mother, I had my father, all giving me types of advice, and maybe I was led a little bit astray. But on the tip of sexuality, I don't feel like I was wrong. I was being a young buck, having consensual fun. So in that sense, I don't feel like I was wrong.
Do you feel like you were treated differently because you're male? Because, we've seen leaks of footage, Paris Hilton, Kim Kardashian, what have you. Do you think because you were male, people somehow presumed that your role was more active and that you were somehow more to blame?
I think it's more cultural, all the people that you said were incorporated or in Western cultures, and I feel that it goes back down to exactly what I started off saying is that the mind frame of the people that I was reaching out to are very, very different, and mind you, given that, it's very hard for me to say that they're not sexually active or doing wild things either. It's just the way that people are more open and free about talking about things that they like or that they're doing. And I just feel like it's a shame sometimes because I get characterized by just that, and I feel like I've offered so much more than just that to all the people that look at what I do.
Do you think people think of you as being disrespectful to women?
I think some people do, but I definitely am not. I respect women in the utmost. I grew up with my mother and my two sisters. My father was away, and I respect women. I feel like women are more important than men, read books about how ancient kind of cultures put women first, and how, somehow maybe civilization or, advancements in the way that we live have taught us a different way. But I definitely respect women deeply, but I feel like people don't think that I really care. It's funny because, I respected every woman that I've been with. I just don't understand how, everyone's been through a growing process. And through that process, I've encountered many different people and have had many different encounters. And I don't think that makes me disrespect them. I've never used them for anything. I've never, physically harmed any of them. And, I feel like it's a misunderstanding.
Would you call yourself a feminist?
I like wearing women's clothes sometimes, but, not dresses, but I like wearing Celine and Vetements and, stuff like that. But yeah, I feel, especially a lot of the times when I look at the way in the entertainment industry where I work with, the way that women are treated or portrayed, I feel like there's something that I wanted to do, but it's just, I'm just one person, and not that many people have or the guts or want to listen to what I have to say. So I'm definitely for women, but I don't know if I'm a feminist, but I definitely feel the importance of women in culture and in my life. Yeah.
There's a quote that you gave in a different interview. You talk a lot about the way that hip hop has influenced you, obviously, and you talked, everything from learning even about how to run a business from hip hop. But you used this particular quote where you said hip hop is your dad, and I want to kind of delve into that more. But I wonder, do you think that part of your approach towards how you see femininity in women, but also how you see your own role as a man and masculinity, has come from hip hop?
Yeah, I definitely do, because when I started listening to hip hop, they were talking about girls as hoes and tricks and bitches, and I might have fell into that a little when I was younger. But the more that I matured, the more that I understood that actually they were talking about a certain type of woman and not really woman in general. And some other, especially Tupac, who's one of my favorite kind of entities ever. If you dig a little deeper into his lyrics, you see that he utmost respects women like to the fullest. So, through actually hip hop I actually learned how to respect women from non-respecting them at first. It's very strange, because when I was young, I moved to Hong Kong when I was 9, and I had lived in Vancouver, Canada before that. I was fully in a Western kind of setting. Then I got thrown into a full-on kind of Chinese dominated kind of environment. And that's why hip hop had affected my life so much, because it was like my connection back to where I was born, like where I felt comfortable. It still does. It just is not as much because, I already have formulated my ideas and my thoughts, but the ideas and thoughts that I use nowadays are very, very enrooted in hip hop culture, which is very strange. But it hasn't done that bad for me. I'm not doing that bad right now. So.